need to just pop some lights on, otherwise we will be crafting in the dark. But I am back after a short, what's the word I'm looking for? A short hiatus, that's the word I'm looking for. Let me just check that I have had an appropriate message on my... Yes, I'm live, it says so. So, really lovely day today. So why wouldn't I be indoors? Well, because I'm with you. We're going to be using the Biggest Wish stamp set today. So lots of fun, I say lots, a few fun projects to look at, some of which I've actually planned, and most of them I haven't. And I'm also using the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper because I think the fussiness of the Sweet Symmetry goes really well with the clean look of the Biggest Wish. So that's why I have decided to choose those two things and put them together, as it were. So I am going to flip you down and get started. So there we go. Okay, so morning Jeanette, morning Deborah. So I've got lots of bits ready to go. This is the card I've already put together just as an example. And yes, I'm fussy cutting. Hello Wendy, hello Christine. So yes, lots of fussy cutting going on. And I have to say, after I put this card together, I realised that the paper has both Floaty Flamingo and Calypso Coral, and this should probably have been next to Calypso Coral. Hey ho! But it still works. So yeah, just a little really narrow border of Night of Navy, Floaty Flamingo ink, and then Night of Navy with white embossing over the top. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Wendy's already voted. Morning, Lorraine. So yes, the reason Wendy is saying I've got her vote is because on my blog last night, 11 o'clock last night, my blog went live with a new post. And I've also sent out a information about that on my newsletter. Sunny everywhere in the UK, apparently so. Hi, Deborah from chilly Brisbane. Oh dear. Anyway, so this is the card that I am featuring on my blog today, even though it went live last night. This uses the Flowers of Friendship bundle with the punch, and I just heat embossed lots of flowers on the shimmer vellum, and I'm just telling you, Christine, and yeah, so this is the one, and this is the stitched greenery die, so, and of course heat embossing and fussy cutting. So what this is for Kylie Bertucci, the wonderful Kylie Bertucci's international blog highlights, and excuse me, and the way it works is that lots of us post a picture on her blog, and you all get to vote for your top 5. So there's a link from my website post today, and there's also a link in the newsletter for those of you who have signed up to the newsletter, and you can pop over, and my entry is number 28. It doesn't show up very well on a phone, is all I'm saying. I don't know how Kylie's set up her website, but it seems to cut off the right hand side, and I'm on the right hand side. But yes, the prize is one of those money can't buy it prizes where in a couple of weeks we get to do a blog hop with Kylie, which would be lovely to do. So, and I've used the Genial Gems, love those. So yes, if you felt you wish to go over and vote for myself and for others, of course, that would be lovely. And as I say, the link for that is on my website in today's blog post, or technically yesterday's blog post, and also it's in my newsletter. So who has joined? Karen from Cold Victoria, Patricia from Rushford, New York, 6 a.m. Good grief. Thank you, Deborah. 13 degrees in Melbourne, not happy. No, I'm sure you're not. For what it's worth, Lorraine, it was 13 degrees here about 3 weeks ago, and it's our spring, so, you know. Morning, Renee. Hello, Marissa from California. You are going into winter, those of you in Australia, so yeah. Morning from Indiana, Priscilla. Hi, Nora from Ireland. So yes, if you did feel you had 5 minutes to spare, if you could hop over to my website, there's a great big vote for me button. Click on that and you'll go over to Kylie's post and you will get the opportunity to vote. It's normally about a week, so let's say before the end of Sunday you should be able to vote, and then she announces the winners and we get to hop with her. So that's the card that I've entered for that. As I say, this is the card that I've already done with what we're using today, and I'm going to see if I can make a few more. Don't know how long I'm going to make this, but because some people don't like long videos. Don't know why, but they don't. Anyway, so that's going to go with that. That's going to go with that. And that's going to go with that. So we're really mixing it up here, because what I want to show is how, with just a few tweaks to your supplies, you can take something that was one way and make it something completely different. I am just going to very quickly show you the papers in the Sweet Symmetry. 3:05 in the morning, good grief. Diane, you must be either your early morning, so have you not gone to bed, or have you just not, I don't know. Hi, Deborah. Yeah, we need to, Christine, you're right, we need to make up for the nil point in the Eurovision. Right, so the papers are these. The colours are Flirty Flamingo, Calypso Coral, Just Jade, Night of Navy and Bumblebee. And one side has got lots of colour and the other side is monochrome. So lots of choice. Now I've used this pattern. I'm going to use this pattern next, but it's a really nice small pattern, perfect for cards. Liking, looking, well, both work actually, looking or liking long videos. So this is the stamp set, really nice bold images and some ones that for those of us that like to fussy cut, we can fussy cut, and it's the same words, plus there's this lovely little set of crosses which are useful as well. So I've got my piece of designer series paper. For this card I'm not going to use a mat on the card. I'm just going to stick the paper onto the card. Now I've used the basic borders dies. I've only used the same die each time, but there are a lot of basic borders. You've been binge watching card making ideas. Oh, and you saw that I caved night. Oh, thank you, Marissa. That's the wrong way. Right, so these are the dies. So you've got a zigzag, you've got this cloud. They're all stitched. So you've got this cloud image. This is the one that I've used, and then you've got various other larger shapes. So those are the dies that I have used. I'm obviously going to need to heat emboss on this if I'm going to get my images to show. So I need my Versamark and I need my my whatever you use to get rid of static. I'm using an embossing buddy because I've still got it, and I know I say it every time, this is the first one I ever bought and it's still going strong, and it's about 10 or 15 years old at least. So yeah, so I'm going to do I'm going to keep it simple, I think, and I'm just going to go for thanks. Now, where did I put? I did have a piece of ribbon, which is here. That's fine, because I say I'm not going to use a mat. I am, because I'm going to use the mat purely to put this round. I know. But it's going to almost look like there is no mat. I am then going to ignore the mat to stick my, or am I? No, I might come inside. I might come inside. So I'm going to have my sentiment above where I'm going to have my ribbon. And I think I will just do hello friend in the script. So I have prepped my stamps already, so I've taken any finish off. Actually, we'll put the hello on the smaller block. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments about binge watching TV. Morning Jan from Florida, morning B. So I've prepped my card, and then of course I'm going to be using my mat. Don't you love it when I know what I'm doing? So I'm going to do friend first, because I want that to be right down into the corner. Straight being optional. And I need my embossing powder. I've got about 20 parcels I need to get out today and tomorrow, so I'm running out of floor space. So trying to get anything from any of my shelves is not easy. We had our team retreat at the weekend, which was an absolute blast. And then I've also got a class that I need to get out, and the final product share, one went missing, so I'm putting another one in the post for the person concerned. So yes, I've got about 20 parcels, actually probably more than that, to get out. So that'll be fun. I'm going to line up to the edge. I mean, not to the edge, but to the edge. The longer and the cattier they get. Or do you mean chattier? I hope you mean chattier. I don't know why I've got that piece of card in there, and I do know why I've got that piece of card in there, but I never use it, so I don't quite know why I've bothered. Are you also ISO? I have to say, Christine, I thought it was only men that needed to do that. Actually, Deborah, I don't need to go near the post office. We have this wonderful system, because you're in Australia, aren't you? So I can actually buy my postage online, which for certain posts is actually less expensive, and I do choose my words advisedly as opposed to cheaper, and we can then just drop them into an appropriate sized letterbox or parcel box, and we've got 2 parcel boxes on the industrial estate near us. So so no, they actually do love me because I don't go anywhere near them. So yeah, we just you can print it out at home, and it saves money. And then I just plonk them all into the back of the car, zoom down to the industrial estate, and take over one of the post boxes. So the other people on the industrial estate probably don't like me very much, but it's drop and go, which is great. Right, so heat embossing, trusty cheese board, of course. Don't think I'm going to use the ribbon actually, so I could have done this straight onto the card. It's filling more space than I was anticipating. I'm just going to heat the other side as well to help flatten it out again. That's better. So, well, we all start as our own best customer, so you never know what might happen. So then I'm going to just add this. Can the ribbon fit in between? Not really, but I know what can. Oh, I know what can. Where is it? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? I know I've got it here somewhere. I just can't find it for looking. I am thinking. Where's it gone? I want my white twine. It's probably somewhere on my exploding desk. Anyway, that's fine. I've got another white twine I can use. So I shall use another white twine. Because I've got the one that goes with the snail mail. So yes, instead of the crinkle seam binding, I'm going to use just white twine, if I can get the piece of sticky off, which is easier said than done. I'm now sticking it to my fingers. Come on, go on, go away. I don't love you. Go, go. Thank you. Still on here. It's very sticky. So instead of doing it with crinkle ribbon, I'm going to do it with twine. Ooh, I know what I can do as well. Oh, I love it when my brain actually starts functioning. It's been a slow morning. And if you hear any funny kind of mechanical noises in the background, that is the joyous building site that is bang next door to us. And we'll be there for some probably years to come. Tidied up my scissors, so I don't know where they are. Right, so I'm going to tie this in a bow, if I can work out how I'm doing that, and then I will stick the paper over the top. So I'm trying to tie a bow and read your comments at the same time. It doesn't work. Now, if you are bow challenged to the degree that you can't, manipulate your fingers so that you can trap the small knot, you can of course just tie a knot first and then just put the bow over the top. That way you know it's going to stay in one place. Now, that's not where it's going to end up, just saying. What I want to work out is whether I can scooch it so that it's there. Yes, I think I can. So to move it, all you need to do is bend your card a little, and then you can scooch it along. Too far, scooch it back. Now, I ideally want that to be, oh, never mind, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Right, so straight is always a plan. There we go. Right, seal I've also put away. Good luck with that, Liz. Oh, what, with tying the bow? Yes, I know. Tying a bow is never easy. So I'm going to put quite a lot of seal onto my card base. I'm not going to put it too far across, but the reason I'm putting more on than I would normally is because it's got to trap the ribbon as well, or the twine as well. And that means it's going to be fighting against the want of pulling up, the want, the desire. It's not actually flat to the card, so it does need a little bit of extra help. And then I'm going to come all the way down there as well, because I'm not going to use all of this piece of paper. Right, so, and I'm not trimming the tails just yet. I want that to be roughly there. Straight is always a plan, so if I have it straight that side and straight that, good grief, I actually lined it up straight. Wonders will never cease. and then I'm just going to see if I can manipulate that bow a little bit further to the left. Answer no, I can't, so I'm going to leave it there. Or I might move it over. No, I'll leave it where it is. I'm going to leave it where it is. Stop fiddling, Liz. Stop it. But what I think I might do is have its tails deliberately coming over to the side. So I will do that in a moment. What I'm going to do first is very carefully, because I don't want to cut my twine, trim this down. So I'm going to come slightly out from the edge of my piece of Night of Navy on this side. And I'm just using the Night of Navy as a guide. Trim that off. Get rid of it. Get rid of my tails so I don't chop them when I don't want to. So that is my trimmed down card, and then I'm going to pop that on there, and then we're going to attach the ends of the twine onto the designer series paper, and it's really easy to do that. It's very effective, and people wonder how on earth you've managed to do it, and it's, well, you lot won't, because you're mostly demonstrators. Thank you. I'm so pleased you like the twine, Deborah. So all I'm going to do is have it coming in kind of quirky places. So I'm just going to have little dots of liquid adhesive where I want it to sit, and just curl it where I want it to be. I will trim that down, and then I'm going to have this, I think following that line of the F would work quite nicely, just mirroring that. And then let's see if we can get it to kink down. I think we can. I think we can, Stanley. And then back round with another blob. And again, I will trim that when I'm not having it stuck to my finger. I will trim that down once it's dry, assuming I can get it to stay. And to make it more definite that that's going to happen, I'm going to do that, because that will help keep everything in place while I do the inside of the card. Yes, I know I'm doing the inside. Bye, Jan. Have a good day at work. So I'm going to trim this down a little bit more, because it's really not good for much else at this size. So we'll just trim off. And it's actually ended up so it's almost got a complete pattern left on the paper. So now at our team meeting on Saturday, we had our save meeting. It was a retreat, so it was a paid for rather than a freebie, because my team meetings are free, but my retreats, because I get kits for everyone, those are paid for. So one of the team was commenting on using their trimmer and how to get the most out of the blades, to which the answer is, please don't press hard, because if you press hard it actually uses the blades quicker than if you press hardly at all. So the only pressure really should be on the up and down rather than the It gave me such a great feeling and is motivating. You got 20 birthday cards this year. How lovely. I think swaps are great. Again, we do team swaps, but that's slightly different. I don't know that what you're talking about is what I would classify as a swap, Christine. I think it's more of a random act of kindness. Because a swap would be I send you one, you send me one. But I know where you're coming from. I've just had a thought. No, I've had a thought and I've pushed it back. Right, so let's hope that that is more or less dry, certainly for the sticking the inside purposes are concerned. So again, snail. So Sunday this week is supposed to be, I kid you not, 28 degrees. It's ridiculous. And of course we'll then be complaining that we're having too much hot weather. I don't complain about it. I love a bit of hot weather. So let's just trim. Trim my ends. Trying not to pull the twine while I'm doing this because it will unstick. I need to get some sharpening out for my blades. Anyway, so that's that, and then I just want to add as a last little thing, I might actually stick that down so that it's obvious that it's meant to be following the F. So just some little pearls up in the top corner, and then I'll just add my spot of ink here, and then I shall put it to one side and do the next one. Hopefully that will stay in place so it actually follows that F. So there we are, that's that one. Right, okay, let's do some colour. Oh, navy and white are absolutely classics. I agree. Right, I'm going to go real colour now. I mean, you know, in your face colour. Now, I'm wondering if this isn't Flirty Flamingo, but is Calypso Coral. So let me have a look in my subtles to see if I've got a Calypso Coral base. Of course, luck would have it that I don't. But that's easily solved, because I think that is Calypso Coral, because Flirty Flamingo is that little bit cooler. Yeah, that's Calypso Coral, so let's get rid of that and go Calypso Coral. So spit on my card, that's a good idea. So trimmers. What you need to do in order to get the most out of your blades is, I'll start it, I use that much pressure. I mean, we're not talking lots of pressure. All I'm doing is pushing. If you ram it into your trimmer, it's going to blunt really quickly, but just light pressure and you get a really nice cut edge. So let's pop that down, bring back in our bits of card. Bring back in our bits of card. Absolutely. What time is it here? It is 11:29 to be precise. So I wouldn't normally put Calypso Coral and Just Jade together. Good morning, Kathleen from Florida. But it's in the paper, so it doesn't matter. So, again, I'm going, actually, I think I am going to Knight of Navy, my stamp, and I'm going to go, I think I am going to go Just Friend. I think, because we all need lots of cards that are, no, it's not GMT, Christine, it's BST. It's British Summertime. We all need cards for friends. Just coming up 6:30 in the morning. Wow. Now I have found that you don't want to get too much ink onto these stamps. May just be my stamp of these stamps, but not too much ink. And I'm just going to come down in here. Hello, Pam. Like that. So I think I've over inked. There's a surprise. Right, so we've got our friend, and I don't think it's going to need much more than that. I've also got a piece of the jade and gold ribbon, which I'm going to add. Now it's almost looking like it's black, which is fine. So I think we're just going to add our piece of ribbon and pretty much call it done, other than maybe adding some gems. So we don't actually need always to throw the whole kitchen sink at a project. Now what I have found is if you find that this frays and you want an end, it will melt with a flame, so you can get a lighter or a match, something like that, and just burn the end. So let's get this straight. Now this is a very open weave, as in it's not a very taut weave, so you don't want to pull it too tight. Let me show you what I mean. So if you have it loose, then it's fine. If you pull it too tight, it gets narrow, and I think doesn't look very nice. So no, not GMT, British Summertime. GMT is what we have in the winter, Christine. And in the summer we have British Summertime. That's when the clocks change. We go from GMT to British Summertime. See, that's still a little bit tight, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scooch down the edges. Not that this one's going to show, but scooch down the edges. Right, so let's position my ribbon. So this is basically the same design as the first one. Well, in fact, all of them, except I'm just having friend. And what's quite useful is I've got the divot in the same place on both sides. Yeah. So again, I'm going to add, I need a new thing, new refill. So I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of my paper and to the card. That has just run out. Oop. I really ought to clean my one of these, because it's getting a bit gummy. They have a tendency to do that. So I'm going to add my adhesive, get it running because it's a new one. Come on. There we go. Put it all over my thumb now. Come on. I had you just now, thank you. Trouble is it went all over my thumb. So I'm going to add adhesive, preferably without sticking the mat to the paper. And then I'm just going to, let's get that out of the way, I'm then going to just add more adhesive in strategic points on the paper, and just make sure that I catch that bottom edge and the top edge, because I know I'm going to have a divot going in. Hello, Loretta. Oh, you're waiting for your Peekaboo Farm set. I love that set. I nearly dug it out again, but I thought, no, can't use the same thing every time. I've used it recently. Focus on something else. So I'm just putting that on gently, because what I want is to check that that is straight and that that is straight, which it is, before I press it down. Got confused with, yes, America changes their clocks at a different time from us, as in not a different, well, obviously a different time. They change their clocks at on a different week than we do. It gets really confusing for those of us that do design team stuff or blog hops, trying to work out what time you need things to go live when we're all changing our clocks at different times. Oh, we're always the last Sunday in March and the last Sunday in October. It took me until I was about 40 to realise that. Up until then, I really hadn't remembered. Now again, I'm going to leave this slightly wider than the edge of the card so that the end of my ribbon isn't sticking out, waving at us, going, hello, I'm here, you've tucked me underneath. Now you could, if you want, have actually not had it underneath. You could have just stuck it here, but I find you get more attachment if you flip it underneath. Hello, Sophie. Sophie from France. I think I'm right in saying you're from France. Right, so that's that. So let's get out again. I'm just going to stick the. No, I'm not, because the design's going the wrong way. I don't really want to use the other design. No, I won't in that case do that. I will just leave it blank for the moment. So, but it's strange for me to actually put a liner in. I seem to be going through a let's put a liner in stage. The reason I tend not to is that my writing is appalling. And by that I mean I kind of forget how to write sometimes. I mean how to do joined up writing. I spent a lot of my career writing in block capitals because it had to go to typing pools and they would only accept it if it was typed. I know, ironic. Typed or in block capitals. Why you would send something typed to the typing pool, I do not know. But there we go. So I got used to writing in block capitals. Writing joined up handwriting, really difficult for me. So I often go wrong when I'm writing the inside of a card, which then means that I have to throw away the mat. If I'm only throwing away the mat, I'm only throwing away the mat, as opposed to trying to stick something over the top of it or whatever. You know, there are limits to what I am prepared to throw away. But yeah, so for me it just works better. So I have got, because I actually finally remembered to order them, the new square in colour gems for the 2020-2022. Not easy to say. Colours. So I'm going to use some of these, and again I'm going to go for 3 in the corner because I just like that as a look. And this time I'm going to go quite angular, so I am going to have them straight on rather than at a funny angle. She says. There we go. So 3 squares, and there we are. So that's our second card. So just time for a third. That's just so you can have a look at it. Let me clean my stamp off. And interesting that Night of Navy has a red in it, which is why it stains your stamp. Who would have thought? But it does. Right, I'm going to go birthday this time. So let's pop this one back. And go birthday. And I've got happy out. Let's put hello away, because we don't need that anymore. Right, okay, so we're going Night of Navy for our card base again. And I'm using this pattern, so it's a little bit more feminine in. Oh, actually, hang on one cotton picking moment. I am going to have a change of plan. Yes, right. So I actually want, I've got happy, don't need hello, and I don't want birthday. Change of plans then, because this is one of the joys of this particular stamp set. So I am going to, is that happy? No, that's friend. Good grief. Will someone please let me have a brain? I would print if my printer would take a 6 minus a bit card. But yeah, I mean, if I'm writing a letter, I will type it. But for cards, I do like handwriting. You won an annual handwriting trophy at school. Yeah, I mean, when I was at school, dare I say, I could write. But that was when I was at school. Right, I need a scrap of paper, which I thought I had out. That'll do. That'll do, because what I want to do is stamp my happy and then stamp, sorry, my birthday, and then stamp happy over the top. So I'm going to use, which, I think I'm going to use just jade, but stamped off. So I'm going to do a bit of experimentation here. So I know it's printed, but hey, so that's full strength. That is part strength. And then I could either, I'm going to do a bit of both. So I can either put that over the top, which works, or just pulling that off. And I know I've not put it square on the birthday. That was intentional, because the other colour I want to try is that. I quite like the tone on tone. Sorry, I know it's got printing underneath, but I quite like the tone on tone, although I think the happy may work better in the navy. So I'm going to go navy. Right. Mine doesn't stamp very well. Okay, why? In what way does it not stamp very well? Define doesn't stamp very well, I think is what I'm saying. Right, so I want just jade. And I need to bring in, where is it? There it is. I need to bring in my foam mat. Morning, Claire. So inking up, stamping off, and then no full coverage. Okay, in which case it may be a faulty stamp. So you may want to talk to either your demonstrator, or if you are a demonstrator, demo support. And let them know that it's not stamping properly. Because if it's not right, they would need to exchange it, and they would do that. So I'm going to put the happy over the top, like that. And again, because I've used navy, it's now pink. Go figure. Right, don't need that. So all I now need to do is kind of put it all together. So that's going to go there. That's going to come here. So it's really just a band down the side. So we're going to have a bit. And actually I might add, because we've got it, might as well use it. So I'm just trying to catch up on your comments. The navy really does make it pop. it was the better choice. And now I think I'm going to go. Is that Flirty Flamingo or Calypso Coral? Let's have a look. That I think is Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to pull out my Flirty Flamingo and just add some Flirty Flamingo up there, and I may add some more once I've put the paper on. So next is to put the paper on, same idea. So I'm going to whiz down here. I don't need to give quite so much coverage this time because we've got nothing that we need to trap, like ribbon. It does look great, doesn't it, Lorraine? I think it's basically what they hope we're going to do with it. I think we're doing as expected. That could just be me, but I think we're doing exactly what their expectation is, which is fine. I have no problem being, following the expectation. So I need to tack this down just very gently. Let's get it at least sort of square on my grid paper. It is, after all, what it's there for. So tack that down a bit further in. There, and that is crooked. So there and there. Press and do exactly what I've done before. The paper is Sweet Symmetry, and it's monochrome on one side and patterned on the other. And Christine is with us as well. So yes, Sweet Symmetry. I wasn't sure about it when I first saw it. It's one of the things that I love actually about doing product shares, is that it means, I've just had a thought. It means I get to see all the papers close up, which in turn means I get to change my mind about them. I'm just wondering whether it needs a border. I think I'm going to add a little tiny weeny border. I can, so I am. So I'm going to pop some tear and tape on the back. I love doing this. This is one of my favourite things, turning a piece of paper into a sticker. So we do that. Then I'm going to get my trimmer and just trim down the side, and then that will turn it into a 1/4 inch wide sticker. So. Actually, I've left some of the tape on there, which is fine. And then I can just take this border. Yes, it needs something. It's just, it doesn't look finished to my eye. So let's use the fact that it's got monochrome on the other side to our advantage. Right, I'm going to bring in my silicone mat just so that I don't end up sticking everything to everything. I can see the lines through my silicone mat, which is quite useful. So I can pop that there and then remove the tape. And it's a narrow enough piece that you can actually bend it if you need to get it onto the edge. And then all I need to do is trim the ends off. I'm assuming, Christine, that you weren't a great fan of this paper. Is that what you're saying? Until Jenny McCormack changed your mind for you. I just love it. I have even, I believe, I think it's in my next order, ordered the stamp set, which I didn't think I was going to do, but I think I now have. Right, so I may just add some there and just one there. And I can do just one quite easily. Let me grab another piece of scrap paper. It's what the back of invoices is all about, or shipping things is all about. So I'm going to have, no, won't fit. So I'm going to go, used to be indecisive and now I can't make up my mind. No, we're going to go that way. And then I'm just going to get most of the ink off, just to ink up that one and bring that down into the bottom. And they are none of them straight. Changing your mind about paper? Absolutely. Yeah. I think the only one that no, that's the sweet more than the paper though. The sweet that I'm really not convinced about is the cats, the wild cats. It's just, I mean, I'm sure it's very helpful for some people, but for me it's just doesn't do much for me. That's just me. Just me. Right, okay. Now this, because it doesn't really have a direction, I can put a bit at the bottom. So I'm just going to trim a bit off the width, and then I'm going to trim this down. So what I really want is a bit more than that. I do love this mini trimmer. I wish they would put it in the catalogue though. I have to say it's quite amusing for me, just saying, because there's a lag between what I say and when you hear it and then what you type. I have no idea what you're reacting to half the time. Just saying. No idea at all. So there are some comments coming out that I just don't quite understand the context of. Christine, I don't know why I didn't like it, but to be honest with you, weird brain. Fine. I have no problem with what you put, just have no idea what you're talking about. Or to what you are referring, I think is probably more accurate. So I'm just going to have, it's not terribly square, but hey, as in it's not square in the pattern. I don't care. You love your little trimmer too, I know, isn't it super? I wasn't a great guillotine fan, and then I got that, and I'm a convert. I think partly because it's such a good guillotine. Right, so that is the last of our cards today. We're just about on the hour, which is fine for you guys who like hanging out for a long time, and not so fine for those who like the shorter videos. But that's fine, because I am doing shorter videos as well. So it's fine. Oh, I need to adhere the front to the card. That would be novel, wouldn't it? Hey ho. Should we put the front on the card? I don't know. Is that kind of what we normally do? I think it is. I think it's the general idea is that having made the front of your card, you do actually put it into your card. So why would I not? Just make sure all of the adhesive is on the inside. Yep. And pop that down. So, our 3 cards. Well, yeah, now I get you, Christine. Thank you, Nora. I'm so pleased you like them. So can you see them all? It's going to be, can you see them all? Let's have a look. Can you? More or less. Yes. Okay. So this is the one I made at the beginning, well, before we started. And then we've made these 3. So they are, I mean, same paper pack, same basic supplies, same stamp set. Very different feel for the cards. So thank you very much. Now do remember, number of things. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't already subscribe, please do so. It's in the bottom right hand corner. Just click on there, and if you then hit the alert bell, you will get an email to let you know when I go live or post. Also, if you like this card, I would be very, 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 very grateful if you would go and vote for it by popping over to my website, oldstablescrafts.co.uk, and find the blog post for, well, the most recent blog post, and you can then have a look at the Vote for Me button and pop over I am number 24. So if you would like to do that, I would be very grateful. I will be back again. That's weird. I will be back again on Thursday at 3 p.m. UK time. Thank you, Lorraine. You get 5 votes. You can only vote for each one once. Thank you, Judith. But you do get 5 votes. So do have a look at the others as well. And, you know, if you want to vote for another 4 in addition to mine, that would be great. If you don't like mine when you go and see the others, then that's good too. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for joining me today. I will see some of you, I hope, on Thursday, and then I'll be back on Saturday. 1432. No idea what that means, Christine. Anyway, so yes, my card is number 28. Right, I will bring up my end screen. Thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you again very soon. Bye bye.